Right, I'm about to show you the infinite spark glitch. Firstly, you need two generators. One would suffice with another connector, but you can't always guarantee that you're going to pick up the live wire. So use two generators, pick up the live wire. Now put it anywhere you're going to get a red highlight. Now cancel the action and the wire will stay where you've cancelled it. Now you need to remove the generator it is connected to. I'm going to talk more about this wire in a minute, but you are free to move this wherever you like, anywhere in your settlement or outside of it, if you've got enough time to run outside with it before workshop mode cancels. You can take this and you can put it even at the upper limits of your boundaries using a ladder, whatever. But for now I'm just going to remove this generator. I'm now free to remove the wire, and what you're left with is this live spark. I'm going to pause it here because you're one step away from creating a permanent fixture in your settlement. So I want you to be sure about what you're doing. There's a few things that I haven't shown you in the video as well, so I'm going to discuss these. But to make this a permanent feature in your settlement, all you have to do now is fast travel away from and back to this settlement. It has to be somewhere relatively far away that you've travelled to and then back. I don't know why, but once you've done that, you can then repeat the process and then you can have as many of these in your settlement as you like. If you don't want to make this a permanent settlement feature, you will have to now build a wire by laying down a connector and attaching a wire to it, and that spark will disappear. If you don't do this and you fast travel away from and back to, then it becomes a permanent feature. So you definitely want to consider creating a new save file for this. So I'm going to be showing you this again. I'm going to fast travel away and back to, and then build another spark. Now, before I do that, there's a couple of bits of information that I really need you to understand first. So just to recover, essentially you've laid down two gens, you've built a wire, you've then picked up that wire as you normally would, you look for a red highlight anywhere in your settlement. Now this could be the floor, it could be a wall, it could be through a person, whatever it is. You put it through a red highlight and then you press the cancel action. That's going to form a glitch wire. So once you've made that glitch wire and then you've removed the generator that it was originally connected to, you can take that wire and you can move it anywhere, and how you place it is just by using the cancel button. Now here's the issue. Sometimes when you try and place that wire after you've created the glitch, it may try to return to its original position, even though there's now no generator for it to connect to. It will still return to that original position, normally through the floor, and then it's bugged. You're actually 2 steps away from creating a game crash at this stage. Now how to avoid that is just by deleting the generator that it's still currently connected to. But you can avoid this issue altogether, hopefully, by keeping a bit of distance between the generators when you first build them, and then also when you first create the glitch wire by putting it through a red highlight, try and do it through a wall as opposed to a floor near the old generator. That usually tends to work. Now if you try and mess around with that wire that's returned to its original position, the game's probably going to crash. So that leads me on to my next point about the wire itself. Now this wire can actually be used very, very creatively. As long as you're not using a live wire, you can play around with these wires to do some pretty cool shit. Now they're not functional, and I'm not going to really go into too much detail about that here, but you can play around with these wires, but this is the important thing. These wires are semi-permanent. That's both a good and a bad thing. There's quite a lot of detail about these wires that I could get into if you were going to play with them, but for the purpose of this tutorial, there's only a couple of things you need to know. So this semi-permanent deal, essentially what happens is, the moment you leave workshop mode, that wire is stuck exactly where you left it. If you open up workshop mode, the only thing you can do to that wire is cancel it. And if you don't do that, you can do nothing further with that wire at all. You only get one shot. But don't panic, because all you need to do to rectify this is save your game and reload it. Now once you've reloaded, you're going to get one more chance to get rid of this wire. So make sure you use this chance wisely. You can't do anything else in workshop menu with this wire other than store it. If you try to do anything else, like select it in order to move it, you can't move it. All that's going to happen is that you've wasted your chance to delete or store this wire, and then you're going to have to reload and try again. Now none of this is really going to matter if all you're doing is the infinite spark glitch, but if you want to play around with the wires, and I don't really mean the live wires, if you wanted to play around with these normal wires, you're really going to need to know this shit. I'm sorry we've been looking at the same image for the last 2 minutes or so. I really should have done a video that describes everything that I'm talking about now, but I didn't. I can't really be bothered now. I thought this was going to be a couple of minute long video. It's such a simple glitch, but the caveats attached to it really need discussing. Now there's probably a lot of people that are wondering why I'd want to recreate a glitch like this. This is a known fault that there's no fix for currently, but I've had this issue myself. It wasn't permanent, but I was quite interested to find out exactly why and how it happened. And I really like the idea of just having a wire attached to this spark and just making it look like my settlements had very dodgy electrics. I think that really adds to the lore friendliness. But I quite like it like this, where you remove the wire and have them floating for a fireworks effect or a bunch of Tinkerbells. I don't know, it's a cool effect. So I've just travelled back to Egret Tours from relatively far away, and in doing so I've made this spark a permanent feature in my settlement. I'm going to build one more spark. So again, we need 2 generators. You need to attach a live wire. Pick up that live wire and put it anywhere in your settlement where you're going to get a red highlight. Cancel that action, delete. So I'm doing this far too fast. Delete the generator it's attached to, pick up the wire, move it, cancel the action to place it, then you're free to delete the other generator and the wire, and there's your second spark. So this is the end of the Infinite Spark tutorial. When I get a chance, I'm probably going to show you how next level you can get with the wires themselves, but for now, cheers.